Order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, man. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
They said you are free to come and go.
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
For the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up. Don't just stand there.
Stay out of my head.
Help! I want you to be okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real. We have to put down that force. I still got it after all. We'll find a good one for this.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. Got the remaining creatures now.
Welcome back to the pride and joy of the UC. Hello, New Atlantis.
Fast. Wait. Hold them as best we can.
This wasn't on the application.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. Roger that. We're on you.
Anyone nosing around here's got out of catfish.
I wonder what Jacob would think of a crow helping to save New Atlantis. Damn if I'm not proud of it, though.
Thank the heavens you're back in one piece. Though I guess our people weren't so lucky.
The Cabinet's already got a plan in place to make sure attacks like this never happen again.
Can't happen soon enough. Thank you. The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather atypical. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
You got the Cabinet. Pull back in to prevent more attacks.
I'm gonna check in with Chief Agent.
Commander Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
My officers were unprepared for what happened at the spaceport.
Was it really terrormorphs? In the city?
A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Very funny. This is going to be hard enough already. Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun? The good...
Well then, hope she's doing a good job.
Now, a fish...
Use your experience.
And who knows? But my...
Certainly. See, good diplomacy.
You see intel...
But getting...
So...
Now, But there's also... Yes, many. If something goes wrong...
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID.
And take these.
Captain, would you like to... Ambassador Balmore's. When the rest of House Varun retreated into... He's since lent his support to a small... Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to... It does. But we're not 100% sure Balmore's actually... His public appearances were always rare. But it's been several years now since he last poked. Scans of the facility show life signs.
Your task is to find him and... I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated that... Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. And fair warning... Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's. Be smart out there, Captain.
Excuse me?
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you.
What? Oh, sorry.
Captain, Admiral Logan informed me of your part in halting the attacks. Whole damn city owes you. No.
Well, that looks...
Please refrain from engaging in any criminal activity. I am programmed for combat.
I know your type. The freewheeling space ace. Must be nice.
The colony war. No winners there, just orphans and mourners. They have mixers for expats at the embassy.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby.
Always good to get back to Freestar soil, even if it is surrounded by New Atlantis.
All that security, and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
Ambassador, I can't emphasize how important this is.
And who might you... Oh, I recognize that face. You're a Co, aren't you? Didn't you run away to help that little Explorers Club?
Really? An Explorers Club. Ma'am, I've signed up to help my friend here, who's looking to stop a whole heap of needless pain and suffering. Imagine if this happened in Aquila City, or Neon. The results would be bad, or, let's be honest here, far, far worse. We owe it to our people to do something.
It's a disturbing thought, Mr. Co. And while it is my job to protect the people of the Collective, the way to do that, I believe, is clear. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time, and yours, and go. You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance, one, to convince me. Understood. I'm listening. If you think some flowery language is gonna change my mind, you're gravely mistaken. Co's do have a way with words. Imagine how it'd look if the next attack occurred in Freestar space. It's a job I take very seriously. It's why I'm even entertaining what you're suggesting right now. Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not changing. The UC is just gonna have to find another way. Now, I presume you can see yourself out.
Get a moment. Can we talk? So how much of a thrill has it been traveling with the one and only last descendant of the great Solomon Coe? Is it everything you imagined? Yeah, but no autographs, okay? I gotta say, it's a relief being with you. So many people hear Coe and they expect me to pull some miracle out of a hat. Time has a way of just building on itself. Solomon was a good man. Great one, even. But if he ever heard all the bullshit being talked about him these days, he'd flat out deck him. There's books about him. Lots of them. All right, a couple of high notes. He was one of the first grav jump explorers, back when they had no idea of the dangers. First solo jump out of Sol System, all him. He explored all the planets in Cheyenne and settled Aquila. Plus, he formed the whole Freestar Collective with Volley. So, as you can see, the names got some serious heft. I am. And I'm not. Yeah, there was a time, well before Cora, where it really weighed on me. Felt like every little thing I did or didn't do was a reflection on our great legacy. It's enough to drive you crazy. Now I just hope I can help Cora to... I don't know. Yeah, let's see if you can do better with her. Some days I think she's half feral. For my father, Cora, and me, everything starts and ends with Solomon Coe. He looked out at the stars, and he dreamed a way to get there. Imagine being the first person to jump into a new system, set foot on a new world. Well, I get it. That's powerful stuff. And now... I'm just getting sappy. You're a bad influence, you know that? Oh, now you're gonna make me blush. Well, I hope the comic book they make about our adventures is better than that rag on Solomon. The stuff they publish is just downright embarrassing.
Is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh, what? You're the Vanguard captain, right? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. Sounds like I got real lucky. And like I've got you to thank for things not being a lot uglier. Well, then you have my earnest thanks. But look, they said you were coming here on official business. The ambassador likes to handle all that personally, even if she does have trained diplomats here to help her. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so you should probably go speak to her. You were sent For me? Huh, maybe... Let's go somewhere to talk. So you want me to work with you? But why now? Why me? No, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And no other city should have to go through what happened here. So then, what would you need from me? Okay, first you need her bio key, and that thing doesn't leave her side. Better chance of splitting the atom with a spoon than me getting that from her. Her quarters. Huh. Oh, that's doable. And you and the UC will be providing me with what for my services? Really? Okay, you've got yourself a deal. Okay, so there's a utility corridor that leads to the ambassador's quarters, which you can access through the main conference room. Here, the key. Whatever you do, don't let the guards see you entering or exiting the utility section, or you're gonna be in serious hot water. I'll keep an ear out for more instructions from the UC.